So the next thing comes down to the real cost of 𝐦�cara. And I had another contractor in my territory challenge me on the cost of 𝐦�cara. Shaun, I can't propose 𝐦�cara. It's thousands of dollars more. Well, it just happened to be the very next week I'm dropping samples off for us for this contractor, and I didn't bring any 𝐦�cara because he was kind of against it, so I'm not going to, I brought what he asked me to, and the homeowner said, well, what about my retaining walls? Is there anything else? And we're flipping the book, and she stops at 𝐦�cara. I want this. And I'm like, Jeremy really doesn't want to install it. I really don't want to push it on him, right, or make him use it, but that's up to you to talk to Jeremy. And, you know, he's still learning, right? I don't want to be that pushy sales guy. I want to educate, you guys move forward, make the decisions, right? And so I get a call from Jeremy. My homeowner wants 𝐦�cara. This thing is going to cost thousands of dollars more. I'm just going to have to let her know that. And I'm like, Jeremy, I don't think it's going to cost that much more money because I know the types of products he's already using. And I'm like, I don't think so. Send me over your spreadsheet. He sends it over to me, all his measurements. It was $500 more on a big project. Seat walls, retaining walls, pillars, fire pit, steps, $500. She wants 𝐦�cara. She'll pay $500, right? So it got me thinking about what's the real cost of 𝐦�cara? Because we say, hey, it's $19.50 a face foot for a double-sided seat wall. And then some of you guys go, whoa. So I started thinking about this. So I'm going to look at it from a practical standpoint. We're going to look at a seat wall, a 10-foot long seat wall. Yeah, Jason?
One thing, guys, is we went around and in the middle of the table, face down, there's a comparison that Shaun's going to talk about.
Yep. So we have a seat wall.
I may have messed him up there, sorry.
Yeah, he threw me off a little bit, but we're good. We'll recover. So we have a seat wall, 10-foot long and seat wall, 23 inches in height. When we look at that, if we're building a Brussels wall, a lot of you guys are using ledgestone. We see that within our sales. We see that ledgestone sales are increasing, but in Brussels coping's decreasing. So you guys your homeowners are opting for that ledgestone coping. Well, when we compare that to 𝐦�cara, exactly the same amount of height in concrete. So Brussels 5 courses with ledgestone is 23 inches in height in concrete. 𝐦�cara 1 universal base pad, 3 backer blocks with panels and coping, and that's panels on both sides. This is what costs for Brussels with ledgestone, and this is what it costs to build a 10-foot long seat wall out of 𝐦�cara. Guys, it's $15.42 more. That's at the Unilock trade price. Question? Materials price? That's materials price. Yeah, so not labor.
But again, you're building almost essentially the same wall. If you think about the time to go back and put some panels on it, you're not adding hours to the job.
And here's a real opinion. You can DM Gino on Instagram and ask him if you build a Brussels wall with ledgestone and you build a 𝐦�cara wall with double panels and a coping, how much more time do you have? I would bet $1 to a donut, he would say it's almost the same. And here's why. You're gluing 5 courses of Brussels. You're gluing 3 courses of 𝐦�cara. Now you're using ledgestone. It's a wet cast product. Later on we're going to talk about wet cast. We have to shim wet cast. It's just the way wet cast is made. You have to shim it. We also ask that you caulk the joint to give it more of a masonry look. With 𝐦�cara, you're eliminating those steps. So at that point, we're putting the coping on a 𝐦�cara, and you're getting your caulk gun out to start caulking joints on a 10-foot long seat wall. So $15 more on a 10-foot long seat wall, 𝐦�cara panels both sides. Let's take a look at Linnea. Comes out to $8 more in cost. Let's look at Rivercrest. We're going to skip over this one fast because we don't want you guys to stop using Rivercrest. It's actually less money. Again, we're going to skip over it quick. We didn't want you guys to see that.
I do want to point out one thing about Linnea. You saw that the Linnea price was what, Shaun? $8.50 more. There is a tremendous amount more of labor that goes into Linnea than building 𝐦�cara. Especially in the time of year where you have to use a poly glue and the glue's not going to set up. I can only build 2 courses. Everything's getting swirly.
We got sliding glowing.
I can tell you 2 jobs last summer that they built them late. They're probably wishing they used 𝐦�cara because they did not get the production out of the Linnea wall.
And the nice thing about 𝐦�cara is it's got the tongue and groove to keep everything locked in place. So you're not getting the glue slide like you would with Brussels or Linnea or even Rivercrest. So let's take a look at a garden wall application. 10-foot long, 23 inches height of concrete. Let's look at Brussels and let's look at 𝐦�cara. Exact same thing. In this case, we're only putting a panel on one side of 𝐦�cara. Guess what, guys? It's less money. It's less money than Brussels with ledgestone. In fact, it's less money than all our products except for using 𝐠𝐫𝐞 with 𝐠𝐫𝐞 coping. That one right there is an eye opener. And Gino's like getting excited. He's using more 𝐸-𝐸, and I start sending him the spreadsheet. He's like, holy cow, and he's getting even more jacked up. And now it's becoming more and more a part of his daily routine of pitching 𝐸-𝐸 to his customers. Let's take a look at steps. You saw my steps. We're going to look at 10 foot long in steps at one course. Now with my steps, I have one course that goes all the way back, and then it steps back 1 foot, and then one course, right? So looking at this compared to Brussels, if you're going to build them out of Brussels, you're going to have 2 courses of Brussels with the cap. In this case, you're going to have 1 course of 𝐸-𝐸, base ped, and coping. It's less money again. It's less money again. In fact, it's less money again across the board, except for 𝐸-𝐸 2. So with that full transparency, we gave you a handout here to give you, to take home, to kind of study and review. Everything that's in green is where 𝐸-𝐸 comes out less money than the object that it's being compared to. Full transparency, pillars as you see, retaining walls with the large backer, that's where 𝐸-𝐸's costs tend to overshadow some of those other products. And at that point, the look and the speed of installation is what's going to be desired for that application.